Hey, hello beautiful people. Welcome back to Muzza's Manic Machines. Come in, I'll show you what I've been up to while you've been away. We've done a little bit of work. Hang on. I got my welder out and we did a few tacks along the top and down across here. Now, whenever you're doing these patch panels, you've got to make sure you've left a little bit of a gap. Otherwise, what you want is happening is the nip of the welder's off. Basically, you can see the wire will fill the hole inside between the patch panel and the other panel, and there's a bit of a bridge there that I have to get across, but I've got the welder set up to where it needs to be. Earth's here. I've sanded that down so the earth's done really well. The welder that we're using is a MIG, an ESAB compact. I've had this for about 17 to 20 years, I think. It's only broken down once on me. I've had the gas bottle fall down on my finger once. I've had reconstruction done on my finger from a gas bottle falling on it. So you got to watch out what you do with these things. Let's turn it on. Let's turn it on and have some fun. So get it over here. Always turn the power on. Gas. Up she goes. Got plenty of gas in there. And then we can. I'll just show you the control panel of this thing. So we turn it on. And what we did. You always start the welder off a bit lower than you need. I did have it on 3 before, but it just wasn't working well, so I've put it on to 5 and the gas is coming out at 5 as well. These other knobs are for spot welding, so we don't need to touch them as well, but my feed at 5, gas at 5, working well. So let's do some welding. I'll see how this edits out because I'll see how the brightness goes. Otherwise, I did say I'll be just showing everything. I won't be fast forwarding through anywhere, but if it's too bright I might cut it in the editing. So we'll just see how it comes out and go from there. Okay, so when I'm welding, just so you know, especially thin material like this, you want to, we'll just put the camera here and we'll just turn down the brightness a bit. There we go. What you want to do, instead of doing one continuous run across here, then one continuous run, you want to do what I've started here. You want to do a weld there, do another one about an inch apart, then another one, then come over here and then work your way down and then fill in the gaps and then do it that way. And what that'll happen is it'll stop you overheating the metal and warping it. Okay, as it's coming at the moment, it's pretty straight and it's coming out very nice at the moment. Trying to get a good look at that. It's coming out good. Alright, so let's stick you up here. I'll do some welding. I'm wearing proper shoes today because I don't want burnt feet. Safety glasses are on if anyone wants to know, and I've got my helmet as well. Okay, I'm going to turn the darkness up. We'll just leave it there and we'll see how it comes out. There we go. Alright. Turn the helmet on. Tip for anyone doing this, always wear gloves. Very easy for welds to fall in little crevices of your fingers. Inside your hands while it's holding the gun. Very easy to get burnt, so I'll put some gloves on, at least one that's going to steady my gun, and we'll see how we go. Alright, mind your eyes. starting a bit hot. I'm just going to go down one and see how the feed goes. So we'll just keep slowly stitching that around. You can take these clamps off now. And we'll keep going with it. That was a bit of fun. So what we're doing, everything's still nice and straight. We've just done that slowly in. We've just got to do this part down here. I'm not going to touch it. Let's see, there's a gap there. It's a good gap. So we're going to use, I don't have any filler, but I've got some coat hanger that'll fill it in there perfectly. So I'm going to go get that shortly. But there it is, and that'll be ready to grind down shortly, and we can see how it comes up. As you can see, it's a bit hard to see from here, but it is nice and straight. Alright, so I'm going to go upstairs, find a coat hanger, because that'll fit in perfectly. Coat hanger we'll put in between the two bits of metal because the gap's too wide, and that'll help bridge it across with the MIG wire, and then we'll finish it off, and then I'll start grinding that down and we can see what the finished product's going to look like. Alright, we'll see how it looks very shortly. Okay, so we're using, whoop, nearly lost my balance. So we're just using this flapper disc to grind it, get rid of the high welds, and we're trying to smooth it off as best we can. Later on we can put some, everything's going to be filled with epoxy primer, we can put some filler on it if we need to. So we're just going to do this quickly. And the battery's run out. We'll carry on with this. Alright, we're using this flapper disc. It's going well. You always keep it moving around because you don't want to overheat a certain part of the body either. So, a bit noisy, but I'll get into it now as well. Battery out, as always. Now, come for a walk. It doesn't look too bad. Let's see. Everything's come up pretty good, other than I've got a few little pinholes along here, which I'm just going to put a few tacks in there now. I'm just going to turn my welder down to 3, and along here, just along that edge, there's a few little spots. So I say filling it up, we'll do that. Let's see if we can get, there you can see a few reflections coming off of that. But it's coming up pretty good actually, I'm pretty impressed with it. So it's, mate, I'm really impressed with it. For the first patch panel on the car, it's coming up really good. So I'll let you watch that while I do a few little welds. We'll turn the welder down again, just a wee bit. Sometimes you got to do the same process 2, 3, 4, 5 times over and over again, but the more time I spend on it now, the less time I have to do the body work later. Even though no one's going to see this part, I just want the quality of work to show on the whole car. So just mind your eyes and I'll get into it now. Show you what I've done here. Alright, like I said, a little bit tedious, time consuming, but the more time you do spend on it right now, the better off you are at the end. So decided to start here because it's a panel that nobody's going to see. I could have done this dodgy. I could have just cut out another piece of metal, rust converted what was there, cut it out and slapped on another one, spot welded around, you know, and that would have been good enough. No one would have seen anything that was going on. But I want it to look good no matter what's happening. So come have a look, I'll show you. So we had a few pinholes, and what I've done, I'll just get the camera, there you can see it there. I'm not going to touch it, still be hot, but you got one there, and one there. Looking at it, there might be a little bit of a pinhole there. So I'm just going to hit that little section there, section right there with a welder, and a bit hard trying to focus and point at the same time, so I'll look from the back of the camera. So just a little pinhole there. I'm just going to give that a little dab, and another little dab there that I couldn't see with my mask on. So I'm just going to do those quickly now. Easy as that. That is fixed. We'll grab our grinder and we'll go to town on it again. Shouldn't take too long. And that is bloody marvellous. Look at this. So I'm really happy with this, actually. Really happy. Come here and check this out. So there is no, there's only a few little lows here and there, but I mean, I have to look really close to find it. So as a repair, you can barely see where it's been repaired and fixed. So that is what you want. So I had the welder up at 5 when I started, and that was so I could jump across, so it had the feed going so it'd have enough MIG wire to jump across the gaps of the two panels. But when I was doing the little minuscule pinholes, I turned it down to 3 just so I could temper it and go in slowly, because you're talking about 1 or 2 mils, you know, 1/8 of an inch for the non-metric people in the world, if less than that. So it was just trying to do minute little welds to fill in the metal. It's something that I don't have to fill in later on. So that is really good. I'm really happy with it, and that is done. That patch panel is done. that's, yeah, I'm pretty happy with myself actually, to have that completed. So I'll just show you everyone around. This is the workshop that I'm in. It's a single garage. You don't need a lot of space to do this. You know, I've heard of guys and girls restoring cars, building cars in places where they've had to build a building around them, or really tight spots, or outdoors, you know, fighting the weather, the extremes, you know, really hot days, really cold days and snow. So this is awesome, that I've got this space. So I'm very thankful that I've got this, and that I've got a family that lets me do it too. It's kind of cool. Not kind of cool, it's really cool. So this is my hobby. So this is what I do. Usually I do one car at a time, and I'll build them and then sell them, and then I've got another pool of money to go to another one. And I've said for the last 10 cars that was the last car that I was doing, but this time we'll see how we go. I've had one of these before. I loved them. I love driving them. They're a nice cruise car. The ultimate is at 50 mile an hour, just cruise anywhere. So if I can get this car up and running and take it to shows, cars and coffees, drive around the country, I think that's going to be a win. And we'll see what we do with the other part, the panel car that's up there too. We might resurrect that one, or there's plans involved, but that's in a few years time. So what's next, you might be asking. So let me just turn the welder off. That's off. And when you turn a welder off, always turn the gas off. Something I got taught from my first boss, actually my second boss, but my first boss. And he taught me to weld. I went to an engineering school, and he actually taught me how to weld and do different things. So a lot of this stuff you can teach yourself how to do. It's really easy once you get doing it. If you pay someone to do it, like something like that, you're looking at 120 bucks an hour. I've spent about 4 to 6 hours, maybe not that long, but say 4 hours. So you're looking at nearly $500, and in patch panels, labor, workshop, so you're looking at probably $600 to $700, you know, better part of $1,000, just on that one little piece. And I've got another 20 or 30 to go. What next, you ask? So just to get your interest, the next part we've got, I'm just going to turn the camera around, and I mention this to people because I get dizzy when cameras get turned around really fast, so you can do it yourself as well, so you know it's coming up. We've got this lower radiator support along here, and there is rust inside. I've blown all the dirt that was inside out of it. So you can see a little bit, it's got some surface rust in there. We have a rust hole here, a rust hole there. We've got some rust there. We've got another rust bit down here. Excuse me. We've got another pinhole here. We've got some rust along here. As you can see, I'll just get the focus. There we go. So you can see the rust through there. And on the underside, I'm just going to get on the ground and show you guys. On the underside, we have a great big whopping hole under there that we've got to fill. So my plan is to leave this intact because this is actually holding the car. I'm going to sorry, we just had a technical malfunction. I'm going to cut this little piece out here, actually stitch in a panel there, and then I'm going to plate over the top of this and down around underneath and stitch it in and spot weld another panel in. Of course I'm going to rust convert on the inside, and then on the other side I just got to get up. Mainly in my 40s, but still takes a bit of effort sometimes. What we have on the other side of the radiator support panel is down here. You can see the hole I'll just try and get the shadow out, but I've put a light in there for you. So we'll run a bit of a patch panel over that. We'll bend some steel, weld some in there, and all across the other side is really good. So I think we're looking good with that radiator support. We'll just turn this light off. I'm thinking of maybe trying to fill those holes, those little holes that are there. And maybe just try and fill them, and the bigger ones we'll cut and patch. So, end of the day, that's come up really well. I'm really happy with myself. First patch panel done on the car, so it's a major accomplishment done. We're on our way. It's always good. You can be busy with your family, you can be busy with work, business, everything like that, but if you spend half hour on a Saturday, half hour on a Sunday, you can get a job accomplished. So if you break it down into little jobs, and then break the little jobs down into little steps, you can get things done very quickly and efficiently, and you start building up momentum, you start enjoying it, you start seeing progress, you go back to it. I'll go back to videos, I'll go back to previous photos, have a look and see what's going on. Sometimes you get a bit demotivated, so go back and see what you've accomplished. It's really good. With the videos, I think the next one, I might do start on the lower radiator support panel. I'll show the other cars probably. We might have a discussion on that. I've also got to go through some colour schemes. We'll probably have a poll on that one. I've got 2 colour schemes that I'd like to put on. So one, I can only go with one unless I put a line down the middle and change it up. Interiors, brakes, engines, how much we want to customize this car. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming up and to see and do. Plus I've got other cars, friends' cars that I'll be showing you. So, we'll be able to go and look at their workshops and see what's going on as well. So different pieces, different vehicles, just not just Fords, which is what I like and enjoy. So thank you for watching Muzza's Manic Machines. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you've had fun watching this one. It's the first of many to come along. I'm looking at doing a live video every Sunday morning, somewhere between 15 to 60 minutes, and I'll pop it up on YouTube as well, so there'll be something there as well. So if you're not on Facebook, we do have a Facebook page. If you look up Muzza's Manic Machines, you'll see myself there. You'll see this XP wagon with the mint green down the side. Yes, that is a Porsche color, and yes, I have used that color before on a yellow 2-door Volvo. More details on that one later. Alright, so thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. Have a great day. Thank you, beautiful people.